Now we're going to go via Starcatcher, which is our satellite uplink, out to Glen Campbell's house, out to Scottsdale near Phoenix, Arizona. And Glenn, I'm sitting here with Johnny Lee, if you can hear me, and he's telling me about the day he tore you up on the golf course in Phoenix. You remember that?
I sure do. Everything Johnny says is true, Ralph. You know that.
Are we getting through to him?
I have to hear this.
Yeah. Can you hear me? This is Glenn. I'm
Apparently
talking
he's
to
talking,
you.
but I can't hear him.
Oh, okay. Well, is it going through the line? No, yeah, Johnny is right. He did tear me up. He come out here with that phony handicap.
Is this going to be a one-way conversation?
He came out here with that phony Texas handicap and tore me up, Ralph.
Well, okay.
They're looking at us as if we can understand.
Right. Yes, we can hear
By
you.
the way, that's Joe Elmore with Johnny Lee. Excuse me?
No, you're with Johnny Lee.
Well,
I'm with Joe Elmore.
But we can't hear them.
Can't hear. I didn't get to hear Glenn's answer. I see Cal back on the drum. Hi, Cal.
Yeah.
Okay, say hi, Cal. Say hi to Johnny.
Are we going to be able to hear them?
Okay, they can hear us. Oh, good. Well, maybe I should turn this down. Well, Glenn, it's a pleasure being your home here, and this is a place you like to spend a lot of time when you can, and I know you're having a good time with the family. Now, we're going to meet some of these folks in a minute, if they don't already come in and introduce themselves, but you're also taking part in the Phoenix Open this week, aren't you? What's that all about?
Well, it starts this week, and I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest golf tournaments on the tour, if not the biggest as far as crowds go. Because tomorrow night's the big show. We got Bob Hope's coming in, Tommy Smothers.
Hello.
Come over here, Cal. Okay, you go.
Cal, you're going to be on in just a minute.
Yeah, you're hogging the show. And Tommy Smothers coming down to play in the tournament. Pat Boone. And this is the show tomorrow night. Lonnie Shore's coming in, and it's all for charity, and it's really been going great here in the Valley.
I know it has, and you have a lot of fun. You've been doing this ever since you lived here, I understand.
Yeah, I sure have. Well, I did the L.A. Open for 14 years, and I guess I'm just kind of hung up on golf tournaments, you know.
Oh, I understand. Speaking of charities, I know you didn't expect us to talk about this, but in the local paper, I found something I want to talk about real briefly. You discovered a local citizen was in need of something recently, decided to do a concert, and it looks like this young lady's well on her way to getting a liver transplant.
Yes, the little boy, he's 6 months old, and he's in Chicago now, and he's on the donors list. I talked to the woman Saturday that does that, and it looks like one thing I'd like to see is that little boy go out with a good transplanted liver, and I hope that his body accepts it, and to get him off, because they didn't have the money to even get him on a donors list.
Yeah, it takes $100,000 just to get started, doesn't it?
If you don't have insurance, they don't even accept people. And the mother said, well, what do you do? What do people in this case do? And the doctor said, well, you go home and your baby dies. And it kind of got me interested in it, Joe, to see what I could do. And we raised $32,000 around that. That's a round figure. The other day in Chicago, they took up, just on the street, for Tommy Tenuta, for $10,000 and $12,000. So we got the money now to go on the donors list, $100,000, but the whole operation will probably cost roughly $250,000. And so people can send in, and you can send money, checks for Tommy Tenuta Fund at Box 40455, Phoenix, Arizona.
Thanks.
A 85067. I've got a list in my head for a week.
That's wonderful, Glenn. Well, listen, in addition to playing golf and helping out in other causes, you've also been in the studio, and I think you have another album coming out, what, in March?
In March, yes.
Okay. What can we expect?
Gone, Gone, Gone will be in the album, naturally, and the next single is called Walking in the Sun, and that's the name of the album, and it's kind of the story of my life, you know. I've been down long enough to know when everything is up and so forth, you know, and even a blind man can tell when he's walking in the sun.
Well, you've had an interesting life and a lot more of it left. And you were telling me earlier that you wanted to do a gospel album. This is something you've been thinking about for some time, and maybe we'll do one in 1990.
Definitely. Well, the first gospel album I did was No More Nights, and it won the Dove Award for... That's when I found out I was a secular artist, Joe. I got the Dove Award for the best gospel album by a secular artist. I did a favorite hymns album, and then now I want to do one with Phil Driscoll wrote me a song called Jesus and Me. That's my life story, and I think with God's blessing, we'll be able to go in the studio and get that done this year.
I bet you will. Speaking of music, I know you got some musicians here in the house that are dying to go on tonight, and we got well, there's a house band here at the Campbell residence, right?
That's right?
So what do you say we go on over here and give it a shot?
Okay. When Johnny Lee comes, Johnny does Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places, Honky Tonking, and Cal plays drums for him. They love it.
All right, well, let's, I'll be the audio man, and we'll just go right over here and do it. Okay, this is Cal on drums. Should I you want to introduce the band for me?
Come on over here, Shannon. Come on over here. You got to get up front and play guitar.
Shannon's a ukulele player.
Shannon's my uke player. Cal's a little drummer. You ready, boys? 2, 3. Ashley's my tambourine player.
This is Ashley.
Drums.
Aha, there you have it. Live from Club Campbell on Nashville Now. Sound great.
Thank you, Joe. And thank you, Rob. Nice to be here.
All right, good night, Glenn, and good night, Joe.
What a group.
If it seemed a little strange on our end, it was because for a long time we could not hear what they were saying here in Nashville, although I'm told you could hear it all on the air. So if Glenn ad-libbed any response to your beating him on the golf course, we didn't hear it.
And I didn't get to say nothing back in case he said something smart. See?
You've been to his house, haven't you?
Yes, sir, sure have.
What was the story you told me about pitching a song?
Oh, to Glenn, we was out on the golf course.
No, I'm talking about his kid, Cal.
I was at Glenn's house, and Cal plays drums and everything, so we were sitting around going to play guitars and stuff, so I was, excited, number one, that I was even going to play rhythm with Glen Campbell, because I idolized the guy, the way he plays and everything. And so we was going to play one of Glen's songs. Cal says, no, Daddy play Could Have Heard a Heartbreak, Could Have Heard a Heartbreak. Wanted to play a Johnny Lee song. I freaked out.
All right, that was live from Glen's house at Scottsdale, Arizona, via Starcatcher.